right, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Sunday morning, man, 8:30, man, and me and Cant gonna ride back over here. We know we got rain coming today. One good thing about doing the videos and stuff is I learned so much about myself. And if any of you guys are on the fence about, you know, starting a YouTube channel or whatever, and you're on the fence about it, if you don't get nothing else out of it, you get that. You get a whole nother perspective on you and how you roll, and but you see it how everybody else sees it, and it's really a healthy thing in the long run. Now, if you want to do a YouTube channel for money, well, good luck. I ain't saying you can't, but if you're in it just to make money or try to make money on YouTube got some game for you. It's hard to make money on YouTube and it not just suck all your time in the beginning. You have to it has to naturally happen. If it doesn't, it's work. You know, people got to view your channel. People got to view the videos. The videos have got to be, you know, a certain quality. The videos, you know. And when I watch my videos, because I watch, for the most part, I edit them and I watch them for the most part. Sometimes I don't get a chance to watch them, but in the editing process, I am able to look at a lot of things. Like on this job, I noticed quite a few things that we're gonna get right. I know in that corner up there where the driveway and the sidewalk meet in the front, we're going to replace some pieces there, and that's what happens when you got people that have never really done it before or whatever. They don't and I'm not saying that those pieces won't live, you know, they will, but they don't look good right now, and we could do a higher quality pieces right there in the front of the house. You want to do you want to put the really good pieces where they pull up at, like that backyard back there. That is awesome. They did great, but it was just by stroke. It was just by stroke of luck, not stroke of luck, but by the stroke of what pallet was available, you know, to lay the grass. That was right there accessible. So if a good pallet is there, then it got good grass on top of the pallet or whatever, and you know, and that happens to be the ones they pull from, then you're gold. But if you're me, you got to make sure that you put those pallets, you don't really know, is it good, you have 5 good pieces on top and then some crappy pieces in the middle that will live, but they're not pieces that you want to showcase when people come home from vacation, and they're, you know, because until it starts getting really hot, like, you know, above 80 regular, then those pieces are going to be suspect. I know they'll live over time, but I want higher quality pieces in the front right there. And I'm not saying we're going to replace them all, but we're going to replace probably 8 to 10 pieces there. Whatever we got to do, it doesn't matter. Me and her can do that. She can do that, and she recognized it too. And she would, when me and her look at everything this morning, she will see what I'm talking about, you know. But yeah, and another thing, I'm gonna be in contact with the customer. They're on a cruise, so I'm gonna be in contact with the customer about what we can do on that side, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to do anything based on the contract that we have right now until I talk to her. Now, if she tells me, if I talk to her and she tells me, hey Ray, yeah, bring another load of dirt in there and go on and fix the end of the house there, then well, I don't know. I'll probably still pull the machine off the job. But it's my job to make sure that it's appealing. And I really like the concept of nobody being here. I love jobs like that, because now I'm not, you know, having to, you know, jump through any scheduling hoops or nothing. I can just come over here and I don't have to work hard. Considering we got everything done so fast yesterday, I got a whole day that I can come over here and just tinker around, and I'm still making bank money. So, you know, There's a few things that we can do on that end over there, you know, but I need to talk to her first. We need more dirt. Well, our contract was 16 tons of soil and 6 tons of the Pro Plus mix. And I don't think that I'm gonna have any problem with the sod growing. I know that people would have wanted a little more topsoil, but the topsoil, for the most part, I never put topsoil down for sod install. Never. I'll put some sandy base down, you know, that the sod actually grows in. But, you know, keep in mind, the sod has, you know, an inch of stuff on the back, of dirt on the back of it anyway, that is highly, highly fertilized. And then, you know, one guy was saying I need to get a sweeper. See, when people make comments like that, you know, I understand that if I have, you know, $3 million worth of equipment that you know, I don't, in what world do I need a sweeper? How many jobs have you guys seen that I need a sweeper on? Well, this place right here is looking great. I had to come by here and look where I took the stump out the other day. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Looks wonderful. No wonder he wants to keep hiring Ray. So, I mean, a sweeper is like, I don't know, man. If I'm doing a lot of construction, I guess, on the roadway and all, I might use one. But you know, at this point, there's no way I'd buy one. I mean, there's no way. That'd be a terrible buy for me. Of course, the sweeper would help on one job, but from a business standpoint, how do you justify that $5,000 in a sweeper and you use it maybe twice a year or whatever? I mean, you know, you can't justify that. We'll be over here cutting this one next week too. I'm going to do a little roundhouse, just riding around on the way over here to look at some of the properties. So I got Cat pulling the other trailer. I got an old lawnmower with me, not one of the ones that we use, you know, now, but it'll cut grass, and it's just got 2,500 hours on it. I haven't used it. It's got the wheels, and well, it's one of the X-Marts. It's just one of the old. It's the third oldest one I got. So I'm going to use it to press some of the sod down. So. So we're probably not even going to hardcore water it today, because they're calling for 100% chance of rain after like 2. So I certainly don't want to water it this morning. First thing I'm going to want to do is start getting these drainage pipe cut and laid out, so we can stop some of the buildup of you know, water and stuff. So. But you know, yesterday was just like a kamikaze of just, you know, go, and then today's going to be kind of going in there and nitpicking just a little bit. I'm a little bit well, when guys come out here to do sod work and they haven't done it a lot, they just grabbing the next piece on the pallet. That's why I know that I'm really not the one that should be, you know, on the ground laying the sod, because I'll be having guys move pieces out of the way to get to the good piece. And you know, I'm not saying that that's a right or wrong thing. I'm just saying that's the reality of how I roll. So, you know, and that's why I know that I'm really not the one to be on the ground. And plus, I don't feel like it. But I'm super, I don't want to say OCD. I'm good at it, but I do better letting somebody else do that and then me just go back and critique things. Because you got to recognize what you're good at, right? You have to recognize that. You got to recognize what your strong suit is, you know. But I have been the guy on the ground on 100 side jobs probably, and that's not an exaggeration, over the course of my landscaping career. I've done 3 and 4 pallets by myself before, with no skid steer, no trailer to, yeah. I got pictures of, and I got some video, some older video on one of my computers that crashed, that I got a boatload of videos from just when I was just, you know, I wasn't doing YouTube, and hell, I was just doing videos. I've been doing videos over the work that I've been doing ever since 2010 or so. I just didn't start doing the YouTube until, well, 2019 or whatever. But I got videos, yeah. But I've done a lot of side jobs, so I know exactly what to do. And I know the sequence of events, not that it's rocket science or nothing. And I'm really good at, you know, telling these guys what to do and all. But you can't hardly say, well, to somebody that hasn't done a lot of side, you can't hardly say, well, you'll do this here, but you'll do that there, and you know, oh, don't forget this and don't forget that, because they're not gonna, you know, they're just grabbing the next piece that's on top. And if I'm standing there and I'm in their spot, knowing what I know, I'm grabbing the next piece. But if it's a crappy piece, I'm gonna push it to the side and grab a good piece. It's just according to where we're at on the job. If I had been there when they started that front corner, I would have we wouldn't have to replace a lot of it. And we're not gonna replace a lot of it, but I'm gonna spice it up a little bit right there. So, but Trev's going out of town. I got a bunch of lawns to cut this week, so he's gonna miss out on that money, man. Because I can't wait on him to come back. And you know, I don't know if he really wants to be out here. I think he's you know, he hasn't committed one way or another. I need somebody to commit for the summer. You know, I can't have somebody, well, they're in the midst of looking for another job, or they just trying to, you know, get some money. I get all that stuff, and that's all swell. But I need somebody to commit for the summer and be for real, instead of, you know, might not be able to find nobody. Might just have to jump through hoops all summer, man. I hope not, because that affects the bottom line. That affects how much money I make. It does, because my brain power is just going to go so far, then I'm going to be like, man, shoot, I made $1,000 today. I made $900 today. I'm good. You know, I'm not going to be trying to take on a lot of work. When I was over here, when we were over here yesterday, and the folks that was working with me yesterday, they'll tell you, I had 2 people pull up at the roadside down there, and then the next door neighbor came over and was asking me about taking some trees out in his front yard. And I told all of them, man, that I don't know that I'll have time to take on any more sod jobs this year, based on where I'm at right at this moment, based on where the labor is right at this moment, based on the thinking. You can't get, I know that skid steer money is great money, and you can make a lot of money, right? But the way to make the most, and I'm always about the most money, the way to make the most money is to be able to do the skid steer work and the lawn maintenance. You don't want to do the lawn maintenance and lose skid steer work, and you don't want to do the skid steer work and lose lawn maintenance money. You gotta, you know, it's almost like it's a seasonal thing, really. I don't want to say that hardcore, because I'm not going to give up lawn care customers. I can tell you that right now. And it ain't even about the money, you know, as much as you might think. It's more about the loyalty that I have to the customers. If I'm going to quit the lawn care game, I'm going to have to do it before the season starts. I'm not quitting this year, and and I don't anticipate quitting in any time in the future. But when it comes time for me to start re-upping on lawnmowers and where I'm having to spend a lot, that'll be where I'll be at the crossroad of what I want to do with the lawn maintenance. Of course, a lot of that will be affected by how much skid work I get. But at the end of the day, I you know, the lawn maintenance has been so good to me that I don't, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to stop doing the lawn maintenance. So, but you know, I say that, but if I don't have labor and everything, then the lawn maintenance becomes more of a headache than the skid steer work. Like yesterday, for instance, I'll just tell y'all, yesterday I paid those young men $160 each. They ended up, we figured it out at the end, they was making about $25 an hour. And the cat got $200. So in labor and everything, and of course I'm doing my part too. My part is to provide the sod, provide the logistics, and provide the machine there to help with all the grading. Laying the sod down, just the pallets of sod, that's relatively the easiest part, if there is an easy part. The hardest part is getting that ground right, you know. But there's a lot of things you can do after the fact. You know, the ground over there is just terrible, and I could have used a little more field dirt, but it really, you know, it wasn't mandatory. After this rain, I'm gonna end up going over there. I'll probably, me and Cant will get over here today and I'll assess everything. And main thing today is to get that drainage and get those few pieces in the front replaced. And I saw all that yesterday. I didn't mention it too much in the video, but I saw all that yesterday when I was walking up the driveway at the end, well, right before the camera went dead. And I got a half a pallet sitting right across the driveway from there. I did that on purpose. So, yeah, that's one of the first things I'm gonna have Kat do out there is, and she's gonna see it. She probably didn't see it yesterday because, well, everybody was tired, man. It's hard work. I'll just be straight with you, man. You know, getting the 10 pallets on the ground in one day, and with, you know, with all the logistical issues that came about, you know, going and getting the sod, and, you know, that is gold, man. Because that sod's gonna grow. I've never had sod, Bermuda sod not grow. Not ever. So, not ever. And I've done, I don't know how many sod jobs I've done, but I want to say 100 or so. And, you know, yeah. Back in the day, I used to do a little bit more sod. Now, it weren't big jobs like that. It'd be like 2 pallets here, 3 pallets there, 2 pallets here, a pallet and a half, you know, that kind of thing. I've done sod at my house. I've done sod at all my buddy's house. I mean, you know, I've done sod a lot, and I did not have a skid. So that's why when I got the skid, I gotten out of the sod game. Well, I just didn't. I didn't market for it because I didn't have time, because I needed to make money. I needed to make money with equipment, meaning the lawnmowers and stuff. So once I started buying the lawnmowers heavy duty, then I you know, I would just pick and choose what sod jobs I would do. But normally I would do 3 or 4 a season. Now, back in the day when I didn't have as many lawn customers as I got now, I might do 8 or 9 in a season. There wouldn't be big ones like this. I wasn't capable of doing big ones like this back when I first started. You don't come out the gate with a 10 pallet sod job. You got to kind of build your confidence up. And I will admit that I did make, there were some mistakes that I made. One of the mistakes that I made, and I noticed it, well, I noticed it right off. With the power rake, taking the wheels off of it, that was a mistake. Because when I was watching the power rake in the video yesterday on how you know, just from outside the machine, there's no way, and I should have seen it, there's no way that I could have, that I was going to be able to grade that moving going forward if the ground ain't flat. See, if the ground is flat, if the ground ain't flat and you got the wheels on it, you tilt the power rake, and the wheels make it where it goes along the contours of the ground. And so it's going to grab the high stuff, take it to the low stuff, you know. But see, this way, I can't do it because the machine is steady doing this, and there's nothing out on the outside of the power rake, meaning the wheels. There's nothing out there to stop the power rake from dipping down. And that is, now going backwards, I can do pretty good. Now, I would like to get in touch with her about doing some others, you know, maybe bringing some dirt in, more dirt in. Not that, it won't be that dirt. I don't give a damn. I'm not buying no more of that dirt. I don't even think that dirt's good for packing, to be honest. I really don't. I'd rather have some red clay. I mean, you know, and then mix that up with, you know, for the sod. But I think the sod will live. But on that side where the air conditioner is, I wasn't able to do anything over there. And if we put the sod everywhere we're going to put it, it's going to be borderline if I can even get around that side. And I don't want to put sod in places where then we can't get the machine in there to do other stuff. How does it feel? Does it feel mushy?
Well, not in a bad way.
See, I know, like
it's just enough.
And see, I told her, okay, let me do this real quick, because I didn't get no really finished footage. The cameras all, I was too tired to even walk around with the camera, man. And I wasn't even working like y'all. Okay, y'all, so we're back over here. I'm gonna move the skid out of the way. But one thing I wanted to show you guys that me and Kate saw yesterday that I didn't even know, nobody told me, is look at right here. Y'all see this basin right here? That somebody has already, that's been there a while now. I don't know if that, where does that go? But that's, I mean, I don't know where it could go. Could it go down the hill? They put a basin there because they were probably getting a lot of water from here. Now that basin's got to go to the road, right? I don't know. So, but this is not the finished product, but pretty damn close. It feels good, don't it? This back here looks a lot better than the front, because back here we didn't have to remove a bunch of trees. Those trees and that that damn gray soil, that really made the front, it compromised us some. We made up for it in time, but what we're probably going to do here, y'all, is we're going to have to smooth this out. But see, you got to be careful about the machine and being able to get it everywhere. We can't put sod everywhere. But look, I ran the machine right through here yesterday. So if I can get the homeowner to go to another like $1,200, then I will bring more dirt over here and fill in all that. And you can just about use the tree to help. And then it'll be, I mean, you need probably as much dirt as we got and then some. So you know what you need to do, right? Yeah. All right. If you need all the tools, you got the rakes and everything in the truck, you got everything you need, right? Okay, so I'm gonna let her do that. I'm gonna address some of the drainage. We're gonna replace this. And I gotta cut, I gotta, these things right here tend to work better if you don't put this on the angle one. If you just take this angle off, right, and fasten this to that, and then let the slinkiness of the, yeah, y'all know. But look, see, this is something that I don't want to leave over here. I don't want to leave this like that. I mean, you need at least another tandem or two. If we could just get, I need to grab my phone and try to call her, see if they're in port or something. But we're not going to water it until we're done. with whatever we're doing here. There's that line. And look, there it is again. One bad thing about this right here is I don't have the grapple bucket. So, but man, the pitch right here is, y'all see my hand? It's every bit of 35, 40 degrees. And that's not good. So, right here, obviously, I'm going to run a pipe straight out. I'm going to take the 90 off there and put that onto that, and then we're going to run, you know, 15 feet of pipe right into the leaves right there. So, but I'm not worried about that as much today as I am about these, because what happens with it, well, you got a downspout right here, and on this side right here, we're going to cut this. We're gonna have to cut it a little angle. We needed to get it to the end here, and we need the metal edging on that. So I'm going to talk to her about that. Y'all ain't got no metal edging laying around your house nowhere? But I think this is going to be a lot better than it was. Again, us fixing the water. See now see, this is what inexperience right here gets you. Watch this. Y'all see that right there? What the hell is that? See what you want to do? That's what it is. And then now it's back flat. You see, you got, that's the kind of thing that you got to do. And there's some rock right there. We got rock right there. Shoot, I don't know what they're gonna do with that rock. Boy, might be to use that rock to help with that drainage. But this downspout right here, it needs to come out and go. It needs to go that way, and then catch the other one too. I might need to get a T, but I'll figure all that out today. I don't do a lot of this kind of thing, so I don't want to buy a bunch of adapters and stuff that I don't need. So and it's just about letting it grow. Yep, that's all it's about now. Okay, y'all. So we're getting a little bit of sprinkles and stuff. So we need it to rain. All the debris on top of the ground is from where the wind's been blowing. Yeah, so I got an idea, and I'm going to pitch it to the customer, but they're not in town. So what we're probably going to do is, this is the trash from the 10 pallets. But Ray, there's some good sod in there. Yeah, it ain't hardly worth it, man. Fooling with it. So I got to come back and grade all this. I'm going to power rake all this. I'm going to put the wheels back on it. It's starting to rain though, so it was raining a second ago, and now it done stopped. So yeah, y'all hang tight for 1 second. Okay, y'all, so I'm doing a walk around. We probably got, like I told y'all in the truck, we probably got another day and a half over here. We spent about 3 hours over here this morning, but it's storming right up the street from here. So yeah, so this is the sod in the back. Up there, you can't hardly see it, but there's a dip to where it'll catch a lot of this water from up high, and it'll bring it around to here. There's a drainage hole right there. I don't know what it is, but if y'all look up in the woods right there, I mean, these are things that you should notice when you walk. There's a big gully right there, natural gully from where water flies down through there. So somebody left their jacket. Grab that. And this is what I'm talking about. Why it's such a big deal for the gutters. See how it's staining the white concrete? Got one there, and one there, and one on the corner. So nothing I can do about that. I guess what we can do is if she wants to, we can run a pipe that way, you know. But I'm about burned out over here for now. We got a lot of stuff done. I'm gonna leave the wheelbarrow over here, but we got to come back and seed and straw everything. So yeah, I don't even think she was thinking we would get that far back with the sod in the back. Now I got some trashy pieces, but I don't want to put them out because they're really bad. We probably got, you know, out of 10 pallets, we probably got 8 to 10% waste total. So, but I think this sod is going to take off. Let's let it rain today, right? And everywhere I go, I'm stepping on it. And I ran the mower on this too, it looks great, man. That look good? Damn, it looks good. Okay, y'all. So I'm leaving for today. I was only over here, like I said, about 3 hours, but we got the drainage stuff done before the rain. We got, I didn't put the seed and straw down. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to because I'm afraid we're gonna get too much rain. They're calling for a lot of rain over here next week, but we got the drainage in, and I know that on this drainage stuff right here, I'll put a T in or something to make this one pipe, you know. Same thing over here. If you can't tie them in together, then you got to run 2 pipe. So basically I need a T to go into that. So let me take a picture of that, man, because I don't do a lot of drainage stuff, so I'm afraid to do too much today, man. I'm afraid we're gonna get too much rain. But I ran the mower over it and just pressed it, and when we blew, and the wind blowing too, all this stuff blew on it. So, but that's just straw and, you know, the topsoil stuff and all that. So to me, this is looking really good. So